Okay, grade 12s. Now that we are done with all of that theory and knowing these urban land use zones as well as land use models, now we need to look at how to answer questions with regards to that. So we have got 1.4 here that we are given. It says refer to the infographic below to answer the following questions. Okay, so let's read the case study all together and be able to understand what's happening within it. So the Smolanyana infographic says the title is Office Space, the major trend to decentralization. The term decentralization simply means that businesses are moving away from the CBD. Usually when the businesses are moving away from the CBD into far away places. Why do businesses move away to far away places? Most of the times, the industries are over concentrated at the CBD. Remember, guys, I always tell you that the CBD is an area of business. There's high business activity at the CBD, such that you would think, actually, there's no space. There's no space for more industries in the CBD. So most of the industries, they end up decentralizing. We say the term is decentralizing. It simply means that most of the industries, they end up moving away from the CBD so that they can be able to have more space and more parking, all of that. So now here there's a quote that is saying, I thus expect decentralized nodes to continue to be the more popular location option. That's not to say that the CBDs don't have an important place, essentially in terms of their potential for high density, affordable residential accommodation. But I believe the more decentralized the urban business model is here to stay. So the more decentralized urban business model is here to stay. So this is a quote from someone that is promoting this whole trend to decentralization, promoting businesses to move away from the CBDs and go maybe far away to the residential areas. Okay, because the CBD, guys, it has got a lot of businesses there. There's a lot of industries, a lot of buildings. You end up finding no place to be able to park your vehicles. Let's just say your customers, they've got cars. How can they come to your business if you do not have even space for parking the cars due to the density of the population and the buildings and stuff like that? So most people are promoting the trend towards decentralization. Decentralization, I repeat, grade 12s, simply means that the businesses are moving away from the CBD and they are going into the outskirts. Okay. Now let's answer the questions. Start with 1.4.1. So we've got quite a couple of images here. We've got A and we've got a short text written, the movement of businesses into residential areas, and then there's an arrow that is showing us B here. I think we can just make a bit of a zoom in and try to see what's happening. And then here next we also have got street patterns X as well as street patterns Y. I hope that you guys are able to identify those because it's very essential before we proceed. Okay, so now let's start and do the solutions for this activity, starting with a 1.4.1. So 1.4.1 here, it says identify the land use zone indicated as A in the infographic. Identify, so we are identifying here what is the land use zone which is indicated by the symbol A in this infographic. Which land use zone is indicated by the symbol A here? Yes, Hlelo? Okay, you say it's the Central Business District. Okay, so why would you say that it is the Central Business District?
Tall buildings, highest building densities.
The buildings, you can see that from this diagram, guys. The buildings are closely packed to one another. They're closer to one another, so we can say that there's high building density. You can just look at this image, guys. You can see that you've got tall buildings, number one. The buildings are densely packed, closer to one another, number two. So that tells you that this is most likely going to be the CBD. That is the land use zone there. So that is going to be the CBD. And then now they say quote from the infographic. So from this infographic provided, this is asking you to quote the importance of the land use zone identified as A. Quote the importance from this extract or from this infographic. So you're not supposed to rephrase it. You are not supposed to put it in your own words. No, you are supposed to quote it the way it is. What is what is said in this infographic about the land use zone A? We already say that the land use zone A is the central business district. So what importance is the land use zone A? What is the importance of the central business district? Just quote the exact words that talk about the importance of the CBD from the infographic. Yes, Lelo?
Ukuzama futhi mhlawumbe singathi in terms of their potential for high density affordable residential accommodation.
Exactly. That's something. Yeah, because it says here, I thus accept decentralized nodes to continue to be the more popular location option. That is not to say that CBDs, they don't have an important place, especially in terms of their potential for high density affordable residential accommodation. So CBDs here, according to the extract, they are said to have a potential for high density affordable residential accommodation. So here we can just quote it the way it is, exactly the way it is. How change load, we don't change anything. So here we can just say in terms of, because they say code, you must put the codes, right? So here in terms of their potential, so in terms of their potential for high density affordable accommodation, residential accommodation, affordable residential accommodation. So the CBD has a value based on that. So the CBD is valuable based on that. What makes it valuable? It has its potential for high density affordable residential accommodation. But most of the times the land value sometimes at the CBD, with the way it is so expensive, this is almost impossible most of the times. And 1.4.3, state one characteristic. So now we are looking for one characteristic of the land use zone A that is evident. So when we say evident, is something that you can see in the infographic. So in the provided infographic, what is that one characteristic that you can see about the CBD? Yes, Lelo?
It's quoting from the scenario above, ngingathi more popular location option.
But here they say we need to identify one characteristic, right? So one characteristic that is evident in the infographic. Remember, the infographic, guys, is referring to both the extract that we are having here as well as the question, the pictures there. Both of those are representing the infographic. So usually when we look for characteristics of a land use zone that are evident, something that is evident, something that you can see, usually we are talking about the visible features or visible characteristics that you are able to identify. What this one is a land use zone A, or this is a CBD. Try again, Hlelo.
Oh, okay. Singathi liyade ngisho ekuqaleni ukuthi highest building density.
Yes, what is this thing doing? Okay, we've got tall buildings. Yeah, we've got tall buildings. Yes, let me just write that down. So we have got tall buildings. This is evidence. You talk about something that you can see from the extract. You don't talk about something that you know per se, but it's something that you can see from the extract. Tall buildings. What else?
Highest building density.
So there is high building density. The buildings are closely packed, right? So we've got high building density. What else?
Highest land values.
Can we see that? Is that evident from the picture?
Oh, from the evidence.
Yeah. No, not something that you know, something that is evident. What else can we see here in the CPT? I don't know if the picture is that clear to you guys, but I think you have a good mental model of this. This is Johannesburg.
Singasho ukuthi say most accessible.
Yes, in terms of the roads, exactly. The roads here. So we have got a lot of roads around the area. I'm not sure if people can see, but this is a bridge. This is a cable state bridge. The famous bridge in Johannesburg, the one that always shows up on Scandal and Random City and all of that. Okay. So that is the famous cable state bridge that we have here, the in Joburg. So that is a form of a transport infrastructure. There are roads there. There are multiple roads there. I don't know if that's much visible, but here we have got a accessibility through roads. So you must be specific that here there is accessibility. There is accessibility.
Kubalulekile. Futhi sekubalulekile ukuthi uyifundisise question.
Kakhulu kubaluleke kakhulu, because if you misinterpret, so what here they're talking about something that you know about the CPD, but here we're talking about the characteristics that are evident, something that you can see from the infographic. Yeah, accessibility through roads and bridges. Think that is something that you can see. You must mention something that you can see. If you can see a railway, you can also mention that there's a railway there. But for now, I think I only see roads and bridges for this one. So this one, we get that as well. Yeah, exactly. Then let's go to 1.4.4. So now 1.4.4 now says which street pattern X or Y is usually associated with the land use zone at A. Let's first identify the street pattern X. What is the street pattern X? What is the street pattern X here? And which one is the street pattern Y? What street pattern is that? What is X? What is Y?
U-X irregular and Y gridiron.
Yes, Y is a gridiron because you can see that the roads here, they're making 90 degrees intersections, right? And then X is an irregular. This is a planned irregular street pattern. Planned irregular street pattern. So which one is usually associated with the land use zone, the CPD? Which one are we most likely to find at the CPD? The roads, the pattern of the roads, the arrangement of the roads. Are we most likely to find them making these turns like this? Like just take any one of the CPDs that you know, for example. Do you find roads having these turns like this? The 90 degrees turns where the roads are meeting at 90 degrees, like all the roads are straight and they are meeting at 90 degrees? Or do you have a scenario whereby the roads are curved like this? Roads are having curves and curves in an irregular shape. Or a CPD, like the typical CPD that you are used to. Which one would apply best here?
Irregular, say.
Irregular in a CPD. Which CPD is that though? Even irregular pattern.
Oh, sorry. Gridiron in a
Yeah, gridiron. Come on, guys. I think you have ever seen you've been to CPDs, you have been to big cities, and you have seen their business district, their area of high business activities. The streets are straight, guys. Like you find a street like this, and then it joins in with another street like this. Like there is a straight road. The roads are straight. They're not curved. Okay, the roads are like straight here, and they're not curved. Like if you guys just go to a normal CPD, the usual CPDs that you are used to. Go to Johannesburg, go to Durban CPD. You don't have to go there physically. You can even use online resources. Just watch a video on how Johannesburg looks like from the from a drone perspective or from an aerial view, you're gonna see that the streets are actually straight like this. The streets are straight. So the streets are straight. But if you're gonna go to maybe go to other old cities, maybe I don't know which cities, but old American cities, you are going to see that the roads are not going to be straight. They're gonna have other models that are different. But for a CPD, we usually going to see something like this. This is how the roads are. If you just look, just try to Google an image of Johannesburg CPD from above. The Great Iron Street pattern is the one that is most associated with the CPD. Great Iron. Are we together?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So it is Y, which is the Great Iron. And then now we have to give a reason for your answer. Why would we say that the Great Iron Street pattern is the best one that is suited for the CPD? Because it is the one that is found in most CPDs, is the Great Iron Street pattern. But what would make us to qualify it to be the best essay? Yes.
Yes, streets intersect at right angles and are parallel to each other. SB eating easy to plan, and the layout on a business is
Yeah.
flexible,
Let's take the one that says it is easier to lay out, or it's easier to plan, as you said, yeah, easier to plan or lay out. So remember, the question here is give a reason for answer. Why would you say that the CPD is mostly associated with the Great Iron Street pattern? If we just say Uti, the Great Iron Street pattern has got 90 degrees intersections, like what does that have to do with the CPD? All right, we need to be specific. Uti, having these 90 degrees intersections, it makes it easier to divide the land so that we can be able to put different business activities there. You can say something like that, or you can say that it is easier to lay out. So it is easier to lay out anything around that. And this one for this Great Iron Street pattern is usually for flat areas. So it's the best one for flat areas. Remember the curved one, the planned irregular street pattern is usually found in places that are steep, places that have got a slope, that are slopey. But the Great Iron Street pattern is found in places that are flat. So since we are building a CPD, usually the CPD is built on flat land. It cannot be built on a mountainous area, guys. It's hard to construct on a mountainous area. So basically, the easiness to construct is also something that can contribute. So you can talk about easier to construct or to plan, as you said, or you can say easier to lay out. Okay, so easier to construct. You can talk about division as well. Easier to divide land. Easier to divide land. So it is way easier to divide land into small plots, or you can say small sections for different business activities. But the one that is curved is not easier for you to be able to divide. In this one, let's just look at this one, the planned irregular. Imagine if you wanted to place a business here, the space will be limited. The space is irregularly shaped. It's just a bit messy. But when you go to this one, the Great Iron, each and every block here, it can be able to occupy maybe 3 buildings, and then those 3 buildings can have multiple businesses, and then you can specify other things later on. But the main point is here, it's easier to divide or construct. It's easier to divide the land into smaller sections, so that each and every section would have its own place or its own plot. So that division is easier. And also for CPD is the most suitable, because remember that the CPDs, they're built in flat areas, right? So CPDs are built in flat areas, so they will require to have a Great Iron Street pattern. because you cannot be able to build a great iron street pattern if the area is not flat. Impossible. Imagine, guys, the area looks like this, the area looks slopey like this. You can never be able to build a straight road that will have 90 degrees intersections with another one. Impossible. Area must be flat. And also the CPD must also have a flat area. So basically, the reason why we would say that the grid iron is the most suitable for the CPD is that the CPD, you can say that the CPD is built on a, so the CPD is built on flat land. So the best street pattern there for the CPD is going to be this grid iron street pattern. But besides that, I think we can mention other points as long as they are valid. But these ones are the top ones that I can talk about. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now 1.5, 4.5. 1.4.5 says give a term. So we need a term or a single word that is used for the movement. So we're talking about the movement of businesses away from land use zone A. So the movement of business away from the central business district towards the suburbs. What is the proper term that we use to describe that movement? When business are moving away from the land use zone A, which is your central business district, then they are going to the suburbs or they are going to the residential areas. Which one is the right term that we can use to describe that movement? Yes, Tlelo.
Siyabona immediately the residential income.
Movement of businesses, we talked about it before Stalin, when you say that businesses are moving away from the CPD because the CPD has got too many businesses. Yes, it's decentralization, the proper term. Decentralization. Decentralization. So when you say that the businesses are decentralizing or there's decentralization of businesses, simply means that the businesses now are moving away from the CPD because the CPD is over concentrated. There's a lot of people at the CPD. There's a lot of businesses at the CPD. There's a lot of stuff going on at the CPD in such a way that it becomes a bit harder to control. You will end up losing some parking space. Let's just say your businesses would have customers and those customers would need some parking. People will not be able to get parking because the CPD is over concentrated. You're only given a small plot. You're only given a small plot of land to be able to do your business activity you're able to do a small business activity on a smaller plot of land. So you need to be able to have some parking if it depends that maybe your business, it is based on customers that have got cars and stuff like that. But if you don't have parking, how are you going to be able to manage? It's going to be a problem. So you'll be forced to move away from the CPD and go and find an area where your customers will be better satisfied or better suited, or your business will be better suited in such a way that you end up saying, no man, let me leave the CPD. They are decentralizing. And this is one of the strategies to be able to decrease traffic congestion. Because remember, guys, that here at the CPD, since there's a lot of businesses and stuff like that, there will be a lot of traffic as well. Because as we already said, that the CPD is the most accessible. There's a lot of roads and bridges that are leading towards the CPD. So basically, there's a lot happening. There's a lot of traffic congestion at the CPD. That's one of the urban problems that we have, traffic congestion. So when there's traffic congestion, there's not enough space, all right? Traffic is congested. So to be able to decrease that traffic congestion, we need to decentralize the businesses. We need to send the businesses away from the CPD so that there will be less businesses at the CPD and there will be less cars coming to the CPD and there will be less traffic as well. So it is very essential. This decentralization thing is very essential, especially now that most of the CPDs, give an example, I can say just an example, the Johannesburg CPD is already over concentrated. It has got a lot of staff already, a lot of people there, a lot of cars, a lot of businesses. And it is still about the battle of resources as well, because those businesses, they need resources to be able to function. They need electricity, they need water. All of that, it's one of the things that that holds back businesses as well. Are we clear, Grotov?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's continue and look at a 1.4.6. Now, 1.4.6, a bit of a scenario, it says that people and businesses, they are often forced to move out of the CBD, which is land use zone A. So in a paragraph of approximately 8 lines, discuss the factors. So what factors can cause the businesses to move away from the land use zone A? I've already told you some of them already. What would you think would cause businesses to move away from the CBD, or what would cause businesses to decentralize? What would cause businesses to decentralize, or what would cause the movement of businesses away from the CBDs? Remember, guys, this is a paragraph question. In a paragraph question, you shouldn't even lose any marks, because you're supposed to write at least what you know. Okay, write at least what you know, 4 points, 2 marks each. Then you can write more points then until you reach 8 lines in total. And for you to get 2 marks per point, you need to give a cause and an effect whenever you're describing your answer. So what factors would cause businesses to move away from the CBD? What factors cause businesses to move away from the CBD? What factors can cause people to move away from the CBD? Anyone, just the ones that I told you already. I'm sure you still remember them. I want to hear you say them. What causes the businesses to move away from the CBD? Yes, Lelo.
Ngicela sir. Ngathi they move because of ukuba busy kwe-CBD and ama-customers abo awakwazi ukupaka imoto due to overcrowding.
Yes, overcrowding. There's too much happening at the CBD, including overcrowding. The CBD is overcrowded or is overpopulated. So overcrowding at the CBD. So overcrowding at the CBD. So there's overcrowding at the CBD, and this overcrowding would cause businesses to be able to yes.
Traffic congestions zokuza traffic.
Yes, that's another one. So let's start with the overcrowding causes businesses to move to you can say that to a quieter place or anything like that, but is low. Okay, so since we're trying with overcrowding, to a less overcrowded place, or you can to a less crowded place. Yeah, just try to complete your answer a bit, but the main point you've already made is overcrowding. So to a less crowded space. So usually they move to the and just say that is the periphery of the urban area. They move away from the core. And then what else can we talk about? What else can cause businesses to move away?
Beyond traffic congestion, sir.
Yes, traffic congestion. There's a lot of traffic. Okay, so basically there's a lot of traffic. Makes it you can just say due to traffic congestion, there's not enough parking there. So we can talk about traffic congestion. Don't just say traffic, it is traffic congestion. So traffic congestion, or you can say that there's no parking, something around those lines. Okay. No parking for business. No parking for businesses. You complete the statement in your own words. Basically, traffic congestion or insufficient parking, you can just say something around those lines. Traffic congestion or insufficient parking will cause the businesses to move away, especially if the businesses has got customers that require the parking space. Okay, you complete the statement. What else can cause businesses to move away from the from the CBD?
Unika abanye ithuba se.
Oh yeah. Baningi impela. Anyone else wants to give it a try? Yes, Lwandle. Do you want to give it a try?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I think maybe we can also talk about the pollution, maybe noise pollution as well as the
Exactly.
air pollution.
Exactly. There's a lot of noise and air pollution at the CBD. Okay, especially noise pollution. Air pollution usually, I'm sure we usually remove the heavy industries, right? So basically,
Yeah.
usually there is noise. And noise, we've got noise, we've got water pollution because there's a lot of people there. They, especially sometimes informal traders, they just dump waste there and then it ends up polluting some water sources sometimes. So there's noise, there's water pollution, there's air pollution as well. Right? Sometimes it can be air pollution from the CBD. The CBD is overcrowded. It's ought to have a lot of noise. Like there's a lot of business activity there, especially informal businesses. There are people selling tomatoes in the streets and all of that. So it kind of becomes a lot of stuff there, a lot of noise pollution there. People are smoking there. People are doing whatever they are doing. They are releasing smells into the into the atmosphere or into the air, and this is the environment that you're supposed to work in. So basically, we just say that that can cause businesses to move away. If there is too much noise, let's just say your business is a therapist and you find a spot in the CBD. How are you going to do therapy on your patients if it's noisy out there? Because we need some peace and quiet when we're doing therapy. So it won't be a desirable thing. What else can cause can cause businesses to move away from the CBD?
I think we can also speak about high land values as well.
Yes, exactly. The CBD has got high land values. Whenever you want to own a business in the CBD, you need to pay a lot of money compared to owning businesses far away from the CBD. That's a point as well. So there is high land value, or you can say that there is high monthly installments or rents. So there are high monthly installments or monthly expenses, something around there. So high monthly expenses for the businesses to maintain. High monthly expenses for the business to maintain. So high monthly expenses for the business to maintain. Okay. So, some people, when they start the business, they are able to afford the rent, they're able to afford all of that. But now, as time goes, you find out that no man is going bad. When times are bad, they're not able to pay rent. Months are not the same, guys. Sometimes the month, during a certain month, everything is going well. Then you find out that some businesses, some months are not going well, especially the food businesses. Restaurants, they usually succeed the most during those December holidays, right? That's when we know time, and there's a lot of business during this day. There's a lot of business during these days. But now, if you just go in June holidays, they're not gonna be more people or many people visiting restaurants and stuff like that. But still, the rent needs to be paid, and this is the CBD is high rents. So those monthly expenses. Can also talk about crime, guys. There's a lot of crime at the CBD. Since there's a lot of people, there ought to be a lot of crime as well. There are also high crime rates at the CBD. So there are also high crime rates at the CBD. We've got high crime rates at the CBD because since there are many people, they do a lot of pickpocketing there. I see a lot of times when I go to Johannesburg, you need to be very careful when you're in Johannesburg because those people, they're going to just pickpocket you and then take away your stuff, right? So all of those factors are to consider and they can make businesses to move away from the CBD.
Hey Lapo, I know that you've been enjoying this wonderful video and most likely you've been enjoying watching this handsome face in front of you, but sorry ladies, I'm taken. I just here to tell you that Educate is on the road to 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. So please click the subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you get notifications whenever I post new videos. I want you guys to pass. Okay, so if you make my dream true, I reach 100k subscribers, I will make your dreams come true. I will even get you to varsity. I will get you with 7 distinctions. Yes.
So this is still based on urban land use zones. It says refer to the diagram below on land use zones. So this is still all about land use zones. All right. So here we're having a bit of an outlook of how the urban area is looking like. We've got a region A here that is at the center. So this is a region A at the center, and you are seeing middle income residential areas. You are seeing the transition zone. You are seeing the low income residential areas. You're seeing an airport. There's a road. There's a railway line. There's heavy industries. There's a power station. There's quite a lot here that you can see, and as well as high income residential areas far away, a golf course and a river, as well as light industries here. So this is all around a Parkerville city. I'm not sure where Parkerville is, but I think it must be somewhere in Gauteng. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but somewhere around there. So now let's look at these questions. Let's start with question 1.4.1. Identify the land use zone indicated by A in the diagram. So A, which land use zone is being indicated by A in the diagram? Which land use zone is being indicated by A?
CBD, sir.
Yes, always the CBD, guys. Now we know that it is the Central Business District because can see that it is the center of everything, right? So now what reason can you say that this is a CBD? Because 1.4.2 asks us to provide evidence. So we must provide evidence. Whenever they say provide evidence, you need to at least take something or mention something that you can see from the provided diagram, if it's a diagram, or the infographic, if you are given infographic. So here they want the evidence from the sketch so that you can support the answer on 1.4.1. We can support. It's in the, yes, exactly. It's in the city center, or it is located in the middle of the city. So it is located. It is located in the city center, or it is located in the middle of the city. You can say something around there. It is located in the city center, or you can say in the middle of the urban area or in the middle of the city, anything around it. What other evidence points to us that this is a CBD? What other evidence can we point to that tells us that this is a central business district? Any other evidence that we can think of here? There's another hint, one more hint. What other hint can we use to testify that this indeed is the CBD?
Is it accessible, sir?
You need to be more specific. You need to be more specific when you say accessible. What point of evidence from this diagram shows you that the CBD is accessible?
Close to the.
Exactly. The roads here, they are leading towards the CBD. So all the roads here, they are leading towards the CBD. The roads are leading towards this is a road. This is another road here. So all the roads are leading towards the CBD. So it makes the CBD most accessible. It's all about pointing out the evidences. So here you can just say that all roads are leading to A, which is the CBD. Okay, let's try to look at 1.4.3. 1.4.3 asks us to identify a commercial activity in Parkerville City that has been decentralized. What commercial activity in Parkerville City? Remember, commercial activities, guys, we're simply talking about the activities that earn people some money. So what do you think that economic activity is that has been decentralized. Remember, I already discussed, guys, the whole thing of decentralization. Would say this is when the businesses are moving away from the CBD and they are going into the surrounding residential areas. So you can say they are going towards the outskirts. Okay, so what evidence from this diagram or we say identify which commercial activity might have happened to have been decentralized? Anyone economic activity that you can see that is appearing to have been decentralized? Give it a try, Pala, guys. Anyone? There's no answer that's wrong, guys. Every answer is correct.
I would say a shopping mall.
The shopping mall. Okay. That's something. Why would you say it's a shopping mall?
Well, I need to say lights industry.
Okay, so we've got shopping mall and a light industry. Okay, let's start with a shopping mall. Why would we say that a shopping mall has been decentralized?
We could say that it's been decentralized because it's found away from the CBD, and it's basically something that you would typically find in a CBD, but now we're finding it being located away from the CBD.
That's something. The shopping mall, shopping mall, guys, it's place of business. There's a lot of business activity there. Shopping mall is supposed to be found closer to the CBD. Okay, shopping mall is supposed to be found closer to the CBD, but now it is pushed away. And in this case, if we can look carefully, it has been pushed away into the outskirts, more like it has been pushed away, far away into the places that are near the residential areas. So remember, guys, that usually when businesses are being decentralized, they are pushed away from the CBD and they go towards the areas that are closer to residential areas. Okay, they move towards the places where people are staying so that they can be able to just serve the people. Because if they move away to other places, who are they going to serve? If they move away from people like completely, if they move away, let's just say they move away here to the heavy industries, there are no people staying here near the heavy industries. From this diagram, of course, there are no people staying near the heavy industries. Okay, so it's kind of pointless because you won't have a market or you won't have customers. But now the shopping mall here, it has decided to relocate, or it appears to have relocated from the CBD. As for the light industries, they do appear somehow to be closer to the CBD. And light industries, remember, guys, that even when they are closer to the CBD or far away from the CBD, it's still fine. They don't cause any pollution and whatnot. But the shopping mall, there's a lot of high business activity there. You cannot expect to just find a mall in the residential areas, except in the high income residential areas. That is when we usually have shopping malls. The people that are staying in the suburbs, they've got their own shopping malls. Maybe if you go to Johannesburg, places like Balfour, there's a place known as Balfour just near Sandton. That place near Sandton known as Balfour, they've got their own mall known as Balfour Mall. But there's something for high income residential areas usually. And though usually those malls, they were at the CBD, but they decentralized in most cases. They decentralized and they started serving the people in the outlying district. Do you kind of get the sense, Greathoff?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's a shopping mall there. So this one, it has been decentralized. 2 marks for just saying shopping mall. Nothing much, all right. And then now explain why the activity mentioned in question 1.4.3 has been decentralized. What might have caused the shopping mall to be decentralized, or what might have caused the shopping mall to move far away, just based on what you see here, the shopping mall, the one that you're seeing from this diagram in Parkerville City. Why would you say that it has decided to move away? Just reason that you would say.
So can you say that it is to make the functions which are provided by the shopping mall to be easily accessible by the middle income residential and high income residential?
Yes, Yeah, that's valid. Now you see that the shopping mall is closer to the residential area, so it is closer to the people. You know, people like convenience quite a lot. People like convenience. They like to get things near. They don't like walking a longer distance to be able to acquire some goods. They don't like moving longer distances to be able to get some product. Okay, going to town and transport costs and whatnot. So for convenience purposes, one of the reasons that might have made this shopping mall to move away from the CBD is that it will be closer to the residential areas, that it will be able to serve the middle income residential areas and the high income residential areas. Because if you look at its location, it is a strategic location because it is closer to a road. We've got a good road there for accessibility. That's one point that you can mention. It has moved there because now it will be now closer to the road. So all the people and all the cars that will be passing by here, they will be able to shop at the shopping mall. That's a point as well. You can mention that it is also going to serve the high income residential areas and the middle income residential areas. That's also a point that might have made this business to decentralize or to move to the residential areas or to move away from the CBD. Okay. You can also mention the other points that we mentioned in the previous activity. There is overcrowding in the CBD. There is less parking there. If you are going maybe for games, because there are other shops which do VR glasses games, you know, those games for kids whereby they watch a virtual reality or they jump in jumping castles, all of that. All of that is good, pleasant activities. So you need to find some good parking. Park your car and allow your kids to be able to have some fun. But if you are going to a mall in a populated area, such as the CBD, it's very hard to even find parking for you to wait for your kids to have some fun. You have to always be in a rush, get into the store and go and buy some meat, get out of that store. So recreation is minimized there. But this one, it gives a better feel. All of those are points, guys, that I've already given you. You can mention any one of them, but I'm just going to mention that this shopping mall, it is strategically located closer to the residential areas. Okay, so that's the one that I like the most. But here you can have multiple answers. Any one answer will be correct. Okay, so here we can say that here the shopping mall is now located. So you're gonna write it as a full statement, but the shopping mall is now located closer to the residential areas. So it's now located closer to the residential areas. And these residential areas, they are serving as a market, okay? Which are serving as a market. When you say that the residential areas they're serving as a market, it simply means that they are the customers, okay? They're the ones that support the business. So there is maximum support in a shorter time, and all people will be just buying bread, buying clothes, buying everything. You don't really have to commute to town and be able to just being stressed with this traffic congestion stuff. You can just get everything nearby. So they serve as a market for the mall, for the shopping mall. We know that the shopping mall is a commercial activity, by the way, so it really requires customers to support it. You can mention quite a couple of things here, guys. You can mention many things, even the traffic congestion that's happening at the CBD. So to avoid it, that's that you can just be far away. Even the cheaper land value. Remember, guys, that the CBD is very expensive when it comes to land value. Very expensive, the CBD. So there's way cheaper rentals if you are going to rent a place far away from the CBD. Yeah, all of that can be mentioned as valid points. Let's look at here the 1.4.5 question here that says the land use model depicted in the sketch above closely resembles the what? Is it the multiple nuclei or the third world city model? So which one which one does it resemble the most? Which land use model is the most similar to the one that we are provided with here? This is not really an urban land use model that we are given here. It's just an outlook, just giving us an idea of how the land is used in this urban area. But which one would you say that is the one that is most resembled here? Is it the multiple nuclei model or is it the third world city model? Let's describe first the multiple nuclei model. Earlier we said it was the multiple nuclei model. How can you describe the multiple nuclei model?
It has more focal points and around which growth occurs.
Yes, it has got focal points around which growth occurs. It has got points, or it has got certain places that have got certain functions, such as a place known as a CBD with a certain function, a place known as a transition zone with a certain function, a place known as a heavy industry with a certain function. So it has got sections, or it has got you can say nuclei, or you can say it has got places, anything around those lines that are described by each and every function. Mm-hmm.
It's only multiple nuclear.
Okay, why not a third world city?
Oh, when I say it's a third world.
No, umbuzo, why not third world city? Why would you not say it's third world city? I'm trying to say describe the third world city model.
Okay, third world city model. The land use zone are mixed due to high levels of urbanization.
Yes. By the way, the third world city model, remember, it emphasizes a separation based on colonialism. Remember, the third world city model, it emphasizes a separation based on what? Based on ethnic groups. Okay, if we've got a group of maybe a group of black people, a group of white people, a group of colored people, there's still racial tensions in such a place. That one is known as a third world city model. So in a third world city model, you are likely to find two CBDs. You're gonna find a CBD, a traditional CBD. Totally, that CBD is only black people that go there, and then you find a modern CBD or a colonial CBD where white people shop there. So it's kind of divided in many of its aspects. Even the residential areas, we've got the areas where white people are living alone and black people are living alone, something around those lines. I'm not being specific on white and black per se, but there is a division based on colonialism or based on ethnic groups. That one is a third world city model. But the multiple nuclei model is just a simple way of saying what each and every land use zone is described by its function and nothing else. So which one would be the best suited for this schematic diagram that we have here?
Multiple nuclei.
Yeah, multiple nuclei would be the best, because here the multiple nuclei is like exactly the same here, because here each and every land is being described by its function. The light industries are being, this place is being described because they are light industries here. We have got a high income residential areas. We've got the middle income residential areas. So these are sections, or these are nuclei. We say that they are known as nuclei. So you can say it has got multiple sections known as nuclei, or you can say multiple centers, or you can say multiple nodes. Okay, but something around those lines as well. So you can mention something around that. So this one is the multiple nuclei. Multiple.
When I say there's anything wrong, you mean say?
You're supposed to be able to stand for a thing and defend your thing if it's correct or not. Well, whether it's correct or not, it depends on whether you understand what is correct, what is wrong. So if someone else comes and says third world city, you must be able to knowing what you understand as well what is the third world city like. That is why a feasible argument will only work if all of you have got enough information. But if one of you lacks information, they will not even be able to understand what is the other thing. They won't be able to see whether they are right or wrong. But yeah, it's very, very good, or it's very recommended to see you understand all the models. You understand all the models, so that whenever someone gives you a different things, or whenever someone's a pig is, I should say, no man, this is not the one, you are able to give them the correct answer, knowing what you have enough information about the wrong answer as well. Makes sense, Anish?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, now give a reason for your answer. I think already described it here with the model here. What makes it to be a multiple nuclei model? We can see multiple centers, or we have got different centers that are existing, or different land use zones. Okay, so we have got different, or you can say multiple. Use any one of those words, different or multiple centers. You can say that they are centers, or you can say that they are land use zones. They are multiple centers, or you can say they are nodes. Okay, such as the CPD, all of that. That are treated as nuclei. So we treat these as nuclei, but it's different or multiple centers that makes it a multiple nuclei model. Even the decentralization thing, decentralization only happens in a multiple nuclei model, if I'm not mistaken. So whenever you see evidence of decentralization, it usually points out that it's a multiple nuclei model. In fact, decentralization happens on multiple nuclei model, and then I also think it happens on the concentric, on the concentric zone model, that one as well. Decentralization can happen, but in a third world city model, it's all about race or it's all about ethnic groups and separation due to colonialism. 1.4.7, let's just finish this up. 1.4.7 says, discuss two factors. So we're looking for two factors evident in the diagram that influenced the location of high-income residential zone. What two factors influenced the location of the high-income residential zone? Why is the high-income residential area? I think it is visible here from this diagram. This one. What influenced its location, or what caused it to be located exactly where it is? What factors of the site, as well as the situation that might have caused these high-income residential areas to be located where it is? Remember, high-income residential areas, those people, they've got money. So most of the times you need to ask yourself, in suburbs, most of the time suburbs are located in places that are like what? And try to link it to what you are provided here, which is the Parkerville City urban land use zone model. What favored the location of the high income residential area?
I think, sir, one would be the fact that it's located away from the CBD, which means it's exposed to less noise pollution.
Yes, that's one thing. Okay, that's one thing favorable. So first of all, it is located far away. So it is located far away from the CBD. Far away from the CBD. So since it's located far away from the CBD, we already know that if you're going to complete here, you're going to say that there will be less noise pollution, there will be less air pollution, less overcrowding, anything around those lines, less traffic congestion. All of that is valid, whatever it is that you're going to fill up here. But the main point is that it is located far away from the CBD, distant from the CBD. So it actually avoids the effects of the CBD's noise and stuff like that. Okay, what else? What else is evident in the diagram that might have influenced the location of the high-income residential areas?
Can we also say that the location of the recreational activity of golfing, or the golf course?
Yes, there's a golf course.
Because
so the high-income residential.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you are right. It's located closer to the golf course. It's located closer to the golf course. So the golf course, obviously, you know that people like playing golf. They like playing golf. So that's good. That's one of the reasons. You can see that it is very close to here. This is the golf course here. It's written here, golf course. So they can go and play some golf there and have good recreation there. So that's good for recreational activities. Just going to complete the statement and try to fill it up to say that it's located closer to the golf course, making it easier to access recreational activities or anything closer to that. What else might have influenced the location of this high-income residential zone, specifically this one provided for Parkerville? What else can we see that might have made people believe that this is the perfect location or ideal location for the location of this residential area.
Also, the positioning of the road, I think we touched on that before. The road is closer to the roads, which makes it easily accessible to the people living in the high
Yes.
residential area
Yeah.
for the shopping center,
Yes.
shopping mall.
Yeah, so it's closer to roads. So for accessibility, we know that it's very accessible. So it's closer to roads. It is very accessible. That's one thing. Yeah, all of that, guys, is valid points. Even the fact that there's a river there, I think you can see that there's a river there. There's a river, there's a road, there's a shopping mall, all of those, and there's a golf course. There are many things surrounding there in the aesthetic. So the river, remember, guys, that the river can serve as an aesthetic, as a good aesthetic appeal. Imagine you wake up at the balcony, and then when you're standing at the balcony, and then you are watching the beautiful river and all of that. It's kind of a good sight because that river is just surrounding here, just above the road. So people that are living here in the high-income residential areas, they slightly get a view of the river as well. So you can talk about also the river there. So you can say that there's a river for aesthetic purposes, or you can say that for good aesthetic appeal, something around those lines. The river is beautiful for a good view. River for aesthetics, or you can say that the river there is for a good view. Whenever you wake up from your balcony, you can just watch the sun as it rises above these beautiful rivers. So all of that is valid. All of that is valid.